glad you guys are here. It's you guys don't know, I am originally from, so I know we just celebrated our, because we just missed each other. Right? I'm so super excited. How many are fulfilling the vision that God has for me, but in transition, every woman in this room, or every men, we're all in transition. Because how many of us are be better moms, be better wives, be better, we're trying to always this self-improvement. We should be self-improvement. Better. Right? We're all want to be better. Anybody try to tree about, you guys know I'm from here. Nobody, 1982, that is the year that I graduated, so I do look good. No, it has something to do with, was that shade? Anyway, when I left the St. Louis job, I became a crash test dummy. And so my good friends. I fight legally, so I can follow 136. So I got on the board for the retired NFL Players Association, which is how I met Noah. And so when I met Noah, you know how cocky football players, let me come on this side because I talk to my classmates because they got my back. Right? I think Kim just bought a stun gun. Retired NFL players meeting, and I was there with Eric Bailey, who used to play for the Atlanta Falcons. And so I'm like, you know, I need to know what's going on here because I'm a lobbyist and I'm this and I ain't nothing. So I said, hi, my name is Cassandra Bradford. How you doing? And he was like, Google me. Girl, yes. With the hat on. And I said, first name Google, last name me. That's what your mama named you, right? And I said, no, dude, you need to Google me. And so we were talking about what we were going to do for Super Bowl. Super Bowl was coming to Dallas, and I was on the Emerging Business Committee for Super Bowl. I still am. And I said, we should do baking with the NFL, and we should have the Food Network there, and so we're doing it. And he was like, stop. I said, did he just give me the hand? All these fat ex-linebackers in here, they better don't let this California voice fool you. I'm from Illinois. And I'm from St. Louis is what I told him. I'm from the Show Me State, about to show you some stuff. So I went out to my car, and they treated me real bad. And so they did, y'all. And so I said, I had just baked a cake for one of my employees who didn't come to work that day, and I made a death by chocolate cake because my parents did own a restaurant. Right. And I come back in, and I said, here's, I make this. So I'm talking trash. I look up, there was a line of ex-fat long, the fat linebackers. My name is Too Tall Jones. My middle name is, what's his some crazy name? Yeah, it was so funny. So that's how I met Noah. So when we started Run Women's Conference, Noah's like, hey, I'm in. Tell me what you need me to do. And so we've been friends ever since, but I have to remind him, like yesterday, you may want to Google me some more. I've done some things. So 2013, I won Latina Business of the Year. 2014, I won Minority Business of the Year. 2013, Run Women's Conference was born. Won an NAACP award. This year in July, I win Woman of Influence. I'm just letting you know in case. You may want to Google me some more. You want to take a sip? No?
I'm washing his foot down.
Okay. So I'm authored about 6 books, and I own about 5 companies. I run them all simultaneously. I have an office in California, Mission Viejo, California, one in Dallas, and I'm getting ready to open up one. You ain't thought about some? Look, when Super Bowl came to Dallas, I made money. We had an ice storm. I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan at all. However, I like money. So, and I'm an awesome mother. So I have she'll be 24 years old. She's my twin. Her name is Paris. That is my pride and joy. So that's a lot about what I've done. So Run Women's Conference is my passion. And we have been on the move ever since, just really educating small business, because really entrepreneurship has no gender. We say it's a women's conference because women, we really need to be encouraged and motivated, but at the end of the day, and in these times, we need to learn how to motivate ourselves. And so since there's a lot of people that do business with their husband or their spouse, there's no way in the world that we can exclude men, because we live in a society where we need them. And if you don't know anything about the psyche, which is what my doctorate is in, you have to understand that a woman will listen to the voice of a man before she'll listen to the voice of a woman. So there's no way in this world that we can exclude men, because don't we live with them? We raise them and stuff. Right. Well, we have children. We have male children, right? I'm not saying raise your husband. Right? So, don't say that, Kim. So, this is our third year going on tour with Referral Business Conference. So, we were in Atlanta, Nashville, where we been? Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky. We're here. We'll be in Los Angeles, Baltimore, Dallas. Yes, ma'am. We'll be in Huntsville, Alabama, June 9th. So, and then from that, we also have what is called Referral Women Cares, because I believe that a lot of times we don't understand what business growth and development, and I believe that sometimes our business don't grow because we don't give and we don't understand money. I think Noah's going to talk to us about money and the difference between money, finance, and money, finance, and economics. And so with Referral Women Cares, it's about giving and so we give to, every year we look for last year we raised 7,000 purses. People may not have money, but you got something. So this year we're looking for 18,000 bars of soap. So we are so excited that we are the funnel to give. And so we always ask with everything that we do, if you guys could donate soap. And so if you can, or if you can mail it to us, ship it to us, we'll pay for it to get it there. Our objective is really to give, because I know that my blessing is tied to my giving now. Don't get me started. And so Referral Business Cares. So not only do we do that, we also have a brunch that we do every month in Dallas. So then we have our mega conference in Dallas. So we do a lot. Are you guys tired of just listening to the stuff I I don't understand people like, I'm bored. I'm like, call me. I got some stuff. So we're teaching women really about what's going on. So May 29th, we're in Los Angeles. I already talked about that, Huntsville. And July is our big conference. And that, because I have my team there. Javis, you coming? You may want to come. I'll tell you in a minute. You know I can't hold water, so I'm going to tell it. So Dallas is where I do have my resources, but we do a lot. Yes, I am so super excited. So I know people that follow me on Facebook, I've been dropping little hints about what we're doing next year. And John's like, stop dropping hints. I was like, how you going to get in my Uber this morning fussing? And so we're going to be at Dallas Cowboy Stadium in 2019. Knowing my team, we were there this week. We spent about 3-4 hours. And I am not a Cowboy fan, but I just want to be when I first presented the vision of Referral Women's Conference to Noah and the team back then, it was really, we were going to be in Dallas Cowboy Stadium my very first year. And we got caught up in the mix-up of Dallas Cowboy Stadium and AT&T when they bought it out. And so we didn't happen. I was like, God, why has thou forsaken me? But when you look at something to this magnitude, we're going global, and some of the things that we're doing that's it's kind of crazy, you guys. But I'm honored that God chose me to be a part, and for me to be able to select the speakers to bring the content, because I don't know everything. And I've never claimed to know every show with women and other speakers that are so much smarter and bring so much wealth of knowledge. It is an honor to me that they even want to be in the same room with me. So I am so excited about 2019, but I got to get through 2018. So I believe in relational currency so much that I wrote a book about it. And relational currency, and I've already told you my age, so I've confessed. But if you guys remember back in the 80s, cross-functional marketing, remember cross-functional? Some of y'all like, look, I am 10 years old, right? I remember none of that. But cross-functional marketing, where they talked about how you market for another department, or you for another department. So when that person left that position, you could slide into that position. But they didn't tell you that you was going to have to do your job and their job too. But that was really about how you talked about a market, another segment of something else. Relational currency is that. When you look at the dynamics between a husband and a wife, right? So let me look at this husband and wife. So it's cheaper to keep them. Right? right? So you know there's value there. So it ain't like you could just walk away because she could take, if we're in a community property state, where we at? She could take something from it. She could have some stuff, right? So you don't want to you just can't just walk away because you have value in your spouse. Well, the same thing with relational currency is that if I met somebody like Johnny Mac, right? So I know him, and Johnny and I have had a conversation. So that means that now Johnny knows that I baby my clients because he came to my office and I let him know if I refer somebody to you, you better treat them like I treat them later. I'll come find you.
She said that.
And I exact words. Johnny tells me what he does with his clients. I have no problem referring clients to Johnny because I have placed now value on them because Johnny helps people to develop their books. Right, I do own 80% of the publishing company, but I'm not going to take it from thought. You got to have it on paper to come to me. He likes thoughts. I don't need thoughts. So that means that these people that I know that have their book in thought process, I know somebody that can help you. Now, I have now transferred them over to Johnny. Johnny knows if I send somebody to him that they have what? They got money. They can afford to pay him for his services. They should not call Johnny and go, the Simon said you're going to bless me. Because I have placed value on Johnny. If something happens to Johnny, I have a deficit in my life. I'm sorry, I got to get that. So I have a deficit, right? So that means that now I have no problem referring Johnny. I travel all over the country. So I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was telling somebody about Johnny, right? So now I have just taken Johnny with me to Nashville, Tennessee. Johnny does not owe me a referral fee because that sounds like I'm obligated now to refer people to him, and now he may want to 1099 me, and now I got to report this money, right? Because it's relational currency. Because guess what? I expect Johnny to do the same thing about me. So that's how we're going to grow business. It's really through relationships. You have to know where you are. Now, Natalie travels all over the country abroad. And so you have to know where you are. Since we travel a lot, we need to know, are we in a transactional state, which is like California, New York, Florida, or we're in a relational state, like Texas or anything in the Bible Belt, right? So we need to know where we are so we know how to communicate, because, and this is when I need to get it. That's a transactional state. When we're talking about relationships, most business is done through relationships. It's called referral business. Anybody in network marketing knows how valuable referral business is. Everybody can't be everywhere. Can I get some water? So that means that we need to be able to understand what is relational currency and how do I use that to start or grow my business. It's amazing to me because I deal in the contracting world with government and Fortune 500 companies when I hear that women do not get along. And it's like, why? Because she does the same thing I do. So, because when you're looking at multi-million-dollar contracts, it's called teaming. It means we need to play nice in the sandbox. But if we don't play, thank you so much. But if you don't know how to play nice now, you will never get a multi-million-dollar contract. And I'm not just talking about governments. I'm talking about Fortune 500 companies. Like, I don't know, BNSF Railway or Walmart, or I deal with so many of them, AT&T, Southwest Airlines. I can just keep going. Because when you're looking at multi-million-dollar contracts, that means that can you do all of the work? Probably not. If I got, I do have several. But if I got $1 million contract, let me understand, that lets you know I need help. Right. Don't you think I need to go to somebody that is just as good as me? I mean, I'm good. So they're just as good. Because I can't do it all by myself. So I need to play nice with my sister or whoever it is in business. So a little piece of the pie is better than a little piece of the cake is better than no cake at all, right? I heard there was a cake in a car, and I don't see the cake.
Cake in the car?
No, Doc Rose said somebody was bringing cake in the car. I'm stalling for the cake, and I don't see it. So that's really about relational currency. This is really how relational currency can really stop or grow your business. I love contracts. I need guaranteed money. And guess what? The government got money that can pay me. right? How to say business. I love referral business. I get it all the time. Who told you to call me? How'd you get my? We love to say our network is our net worth. Well, how valuable is your network? So since you can't, I can. I can put it on mine. My network, and I'm gonna tell you, I have a database of 12,000 through my car contacts because I got too many. Just I'll wait. Let's pull out. Let's do math, long math. Right. Now there's a deficit. So if you look at your net throwing people away, I ain't speaking to her no more. Why? Because you wouldn't move or act if they didn't push you out. He really that word, right? And it's do you have the stamina? Because we were talking about this earlier. My eyes just automatically open at 5:30, at 4:30, at 6 and 7. I do my best chit chatting. I have clients. So, and I vibrate because I'm in the office with clients with credit cards that pay. It's time to talk to you. You should talk to me between 6 and 7. And Naomi is from New York, and so I call her at 7. That's 8 o'clock her time. She should be up. So, now that we talked about connecting in relationships and values, I want you guys to get up. Stand up. I'm not going to make you run. Everybody keep
Taylor, where do I need to be?
Military, right?
Right. Okay. So, I was thinking. Move, y'all tell.
recording you.
Okay. So, ring got literally all day, and nobody brought her cake. So, Davis, and he's like, don't forget the donuts. So I'm like, okay, listen, you're going to have to drop me off and then go back to the store. That's my boyfriend. His name is Brandon Worthy. And he comes out and supports me. And how many women know that it's important to have that support for you, right? And so also I want to give a big shout out to my mom and dad. They're not able to make it here today. Unfortunately, my big sister, she sent a prayer out to her. Her name is Carla Thomas. And then also thank God for creating all the awesomeness, okay? So repeat after me. I can.
I can.
I will.
I will.
And just say to the left, to the left. Okay, so in video, we doing the whole left is because you have to like wherever we are, it's a that's a lot of work that you put in, write it in it, and you want. So I wanted to teach people about it. And I was in high school back and we get excited about older. Yeah, I can more you like or something. So here I am, peer pressure. Do I want to stand over and go to the other? Like, patient means everything at this. They're happy, and I'm sitting there, and you should have tried out. How many people to do? That she was sons I to understand those lessons and the things that they put in. So hey, here come my off, and it's the power of self. And sometimes in life we give God has given us just to be us, and then you'll fall tomorrow for anything. And I have people will be able to tell me who I am. Can't, right? So now I left to embrace that and know that the next day they didn't know who about God. God will blow your mind. I knew that I was sitting on that hill because he already knew I was going to come back to you. And you have to understand that sometimes God that I was so scared of around school as a black girl, that rhyme the soccer games came sport. That was a powerful seed, my mom. You can get scholarships possible growing up of playing soccer. So my mom did with all that money she saved up, playing soccer in college. And if he did it for me, guess what? He could do it for you and you anything. About some chickens later, and I is fierce. Like you got to become fierce. She getting it because I didn't go get a PhD to you to touch. So this I can't challenge it. She said nobody has a PhD degree. So I told you it wasn't for cousins that said, "Oh, I can't." You got to can't. Bye, can't. Bye, I can't. Stop selling yourself what you like, and you can't. I can't. When God tells you to listen to other people, God will turn around and bless you. And it's my winning season. Everything to get ready for the hallway, and just your mindset is already negative. That's what you're gonna go in and that's cool. So that's so nice. It really changed my mind. So your willpower affirmations. How many people do after your name and the back of anything? Yes, I'm going to the gym and I'm exercising and living. So when you look up in the mirror, I have your hair's all messed up. clothes and everything, you're in your who God created you to be, and the passions that you're supposed to. We need it, and you know why? Because I just declare it's and they selfish growth. So I need 10, right? But when I get it's gonna things you are. And so I was a little bitty girl. Then I said I'm gonna go back. Right? So now be riding clean. Yeah. About at the end of the day, for roll up. I can stand up. All right. So I can. I will. So I have to do everything today. Best is yet to come. My best days, I haven't even lived them yet. Neither have you. Give somebody. And in August, like I said, I can, I will, I am. And if you're interested in it, just inbox me on Facebook, and I can make sure you get a copy of that. And thank Dr. Cassandra again and her lovely Pink for having me out again. I spoke in the one in Chicago, and it was amazing. And I was so blessed to have the opportunity to speak at hers again here in St. Louis. So thank you guys, and be phenomenal. And every
Alabama experience, right? All right. Today, so it's in our Andrew Lamar, right? Certain enemies of black man, he know where you, of how the banner is DNA, and she talked to put you in a position next level. So a next level wife, a next level mother, a next level. Right. She's already on her journey. We've been hearing about that cake all day. So for today, DNA stands for destination. DNA stands for Navigator. And DNA under for a lifetime. Yes. And sometimes they're temporary. Yes. Anybody know about some temporary associations? All right. Some of us can have marriages that was temporary associations. Right? Okay. So the thing is that throughout each one of our lives and the journeys that we've been on, we've had those things. We have a destination that we're aiming for. We had a navigator. Now, what's the importance of a navigator?
Direction, teaching.
Right, direction. Okay, Dr. Cass mentioned that one of the primary things she does is mentorship. So would you consider a mentor a navigator? Mm-hmm. A mentor is a navigator. And then the associations. Today's theme is what? There you go. Relational currency. So your associations, the networks that you build, and she talked about network being your net worth, all of those things are very important to get you to your branded end. So in order for a company, the look, the feel, the color palette, all of those things are very important to the personality of the person that had the vision for their company. Absolutely. So in order to start, you got to have first a what? In the D. Destination. You got to have somewhere where you're trying to go, right? All right. And then you need somebody to give you some mentorship, some direction. That's the navigator. And then it's the assistants that help you along that journey. All right. I want to, and I'm going to start that off with telling a story. So I was a part of a church called Power Change Christian Center right over in Cahokia, and had been there for some years. During that time, there was a committee that was put together, and we were supposed to do introductions. So like the welcome. Go up, do the church welcome. It was me, and I was supposed to do the welcome, right? So we had practice and practice and practice and practice and practice some more, right? So they wanted to make sure everything was straight. Like, we know you got this. You done did this 50 times. I swear to you. I got up in front of probably about 500 people with a big Kool-Aid smile on my face. I was looking sharp and good like I am today. But I'm just saying, I got up there and I stood up in front of everybody and I started off like, welcome to Power Change Christian Center. You have arrived at the church that's changing lives. And and you know how when your kids is trying to walk or something, you cheerlead. Go, baby, go. Yeah. Come on, baby, you can do it, right? My pastor was doing that to me. So I'm standing up there like, I just completely went blank. How many of you have been in that situation? I know this. I do it every day. And you just go blank. You miss it. Has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power,
love,
and
a
of
sound mind.
That's right. So what does that mean? In every situation, in every opportunity that we have to take upon beyond what we feel. Because the day may have been rough. It might have been kind of tough for some of us to get up this morning and make it here and be on time and do what we needed to do to set up.
Yes.
It's your vision that may be driving you this morning to give you the energy to try to deal with people at whatever level it is. At home, but then stand with a smile in front of others. That's true. Every obstacle that we face, and you do that with overcoming each circumstance, each situation, understanding that God has given you power to walk through it, to overcome it, to see through it, and to persevere. So I'm gonna start off. So one of the things that I used to do when sound from my mouth. That's me.
No, you can use that.
Arkansas is the only American state in the Bible.
Okay, that's right. See, I knew there had to be some on there. I knew it. I like that, dog. Man. So I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I was raised up with both of my parents in the household, but it was a dysfunctional household of that. So I left, went to the Air Force from 95 to 2000. I was in the United States Air Force. I served in intelligence. I was in the signals intelligence. I did tours in Hawaii, which was great. So I was stationed there too. So from that time, I've raised 3 kids. I have one that's in college now. That's a sophomore at University of Illinois. I have a junior that's at Belleville West, and I have a boy out there and had 2 girls. You know, we didn't. God knows that's daddy's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Round Billy. I think my son did more damage than anybody else. It was round. And, so the doctor is rotating the little thing on her stomach and stuff like that and trying to tell the sex of the kid. And I'm sitting there nervous, biting my fingernails, tapping my foot. All my boys, every brother that I knew, I was like, man, I got a boy on the way. They were so amped and excited. So it was a great thing. But we get past the girl, I got my boy. Now what do I do as a father that's now making a transition from the Air Force into the private sector? So then I start working for a company called Advanced Technology Services. I'm doing all of this. So there was a new fear that I had to overcome, but the vision that I had for my journey, while we're looking at the things that we're trying to accomplish, and we're assimilating all of these different pieces from the people that we associate with, from the mentors that we choose, and we clarify that destination each and every day. Because when you first get the picture, you see the end result, but you don't see everything that you got to go through trying to get to where you're trying to go, right? First, I'm ripping and running with my car, all this stuff. And I get to the point to where they lay me off after 4 years. During this time, my wife had my son as a baby. So, we used to sell turtles at school. Hustling like that since I was little. I'm telling you, for real. Take mechanical pencils and repurpose them from the store to my friends.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and I make a couple of, and I sold pens and I sold little stuff that they would need throughout the day. Candy, I did that. They used to have these blow pops that it went from the rate. As I got older, I started cutting hair. I started off trying to do a fade, right? Y'all can laugh. But back in the day, there was this toy, and it was this balloon. It was, I'm going to use this word again, I repurposed that rubber band and put it around my head, And so I put it around my head, and all the hair that was, that's how I started doing my hair. So from 13, I'm telling you, I'm creative. Leave me alone, I'm creative. I was doing it in the Air Force. I was cutting hair in the dorm. I had a line of people that was outside my dorm room. I'm whipping up, and it was black guys, it was white, get it in. I'll take it all. So, you on this journey, and if you think back, if you can close your eyes now with me, and you think back, what's some of the first memories that you have? What's some of those things that you cherish? Because you know, when it was innocent, when there wasn't turmoil, when it was just, hey, wake up, we go to school, we play. We wake up, we go to school, we play. And then when you have deadlines and you have health issues, all of these things are impactful along your journey into the product that we produce. Because the most important thing in your life is time. At every funeral, you see the birth date, you see the death date. What did you do with the dash? So then we develop businesses. It's up the best way we know how. With whatever means that we do things that are uncomfortable. We have to do things that's unconventional to make things happen for the destiny. While you being impactful with raising kids, you being impactful at that you're pursuing and the things that you're going for. Why do you do what you do? Has to be that part. Why? The reason why, hey, I choose to give my talents and my goods and my services to others. If you don't understand the why that you're doing it, then you. So, how do we transition? Overcome. What is the next step? Transition in my life. And I want my life to mean something. And I've never been along this road that I'm going down. This is Jarvis. You know, you talk good about me. I was in St. Louis. Season of my life, Dr. Cass. And that may be any one of us making that call. And it may be somebody that you're able to pull wisdom from for that season of your life. You ask them that pertinent question that's going to help you transition from one step to the next. So many times we meet people and the value of their person, you don't apprehend it. The deposit that you were supposed to receive from that encounter. So having a navigator is very important for transition. The associations. So, on with the next part of this story. So I get out the Air Force, I got laid off, went through all of these things. I'm back at the same company, everything's good. So we go looking for homes. Go looking for a home, we found a home, a nice home, you know, like 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3-car garage, built from the ground up, put the money down, got the plot, everything. And I get a call, lunchtime, you know, discussion about the new contract that's coming up. So during that time, he tells me in the first 5 minutes, hey, we're going to have to lay you off. What do you do in this? What do you do? You know? And what I'm getting across to you is that this journey has no prescription. You can't map it out and just say it's going to work exactly how I see it, because you're going to run into things. Dr. Rowe just mentioned that her sister knew how to overcome that. It's not a prescribed way. There's not a right way. It's just a way. So in this journey, although you're faced with things, although that there's things that's going to impact you, things that can turn you from the left, spirit of might and the power of a sound mind. And if you're going to do anything in this life to make that dash effective, to make that dash have meaning and purpose for you and for those that you impact, that you have to walk through it. You got to go through this journey and understand that, hey, I trust God. First of all, I'm going to walk with confidence, and I'm going to stay true to my DNA, my destiny.
And I met Naomi, and I said, well, you know what, you should be with me, hang out with me, because, you know, I got at this conference, you know, I was like, you know, sit with me. I'm like, okay, so the woman who put on the conference, she said, our count is off, there's too many people in this room. Y'all gonna work together. That was me being mama. And so we feed you, come to Dallas, we feed you breakfast. Use food. You with me, we gonna eat. I'm eating you. Every year I take 2 grams. Okay, I don't know, we were somewhere. It's a blur these days. What happened? But my side of the story was I was mentoring. One more person talk about chicken and eagle. I'm just gonna fall out. I can't take it. Another. And so she said something too about your presentation and your business. So she was like, I'm here. We were in Nashville, and I had no weapons of mass destruction. Her presentation. So and her snoring. That's how it's gonna go down.
Oh yes, I do like.
Oh, that was only special one, Neil. What's up?
I have is expecting you give me because we like that my all you do why shouldn't that be us? They're making it. I have the many people say space because I start well some attention about who don't like you. I want to come really my beating days. Yeah, tell me I can't go outside. Oh yeah, okay, I'm going around the corner. I'll come back. I'll be right back. You know. So, but it starts in the mindset, and your dreams are what will feed your mindset. I just love how I'm like, okay, so you've been sneaking reading my slides. Because yeah, you gotta have a destiny. So I knew, for me, I knew that I never was gonna live the rest of my life in the projects. So that was just number one. That was just where it started. I'm not gonna live my life in this projects. I'm getting out. I don't know how, but I'm getting out. So of course, seeing my mother and them working and becoming professional, and that was a way for me to see my way out. I didn't want to do it the conventional way through school, right? Where are you going? Where do you want to be? As entrepreneurs, as business people, where do you want to go? We want to be self-sufficient. We talked about, Kim and I, we talked about, I don't want to be on the shift is for nurses. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, or 11 to 7. I got kids. I can't work 11 to 7. I tried it one year. I tried it. And even though I like to stay up all night, I really don't like to stay up all night when you want to make me stay up all night. That wasn't working for me. So, yeah, so 7 to 3 was most of the shifts I had to work. 30-something years to 70. It took a lot of prayer. It took a lot of... that's how I ended my career. It's like, I was working 9 to 5 and I was telling love. Even though you see me at 9:30, don't worry. I'll be here till 6:30, but I'm not. Don't keep asking me to be here at 9 o'clock. But how do you develop? What's your values? And we talked about values. What's important to you? Yes. See, so for me, integrity is important. Yes, God. Okay? Mean what you say and say what you mean. That's right? And that's how we want to operate in business. That's one of the ways that you get to change your mindset. You got to figure out what's important to you. Mm-hmm. All right? And what's important to you will affect your habits. But there's always hope for change. Because you know what? It clicked. And sometimes this is one of the secrets to changing your mindset. You got to spend time with yourself.
That's right.
Come on.
You got to spend time with yourself. Because everybody wants a piece of you.
That's right.
Everybody's got an idea of what they should have for your life or what you should be doing with your life. But you're the one who really should know your life. But so often we don't know because we haven't taken the time to spend some time with ourselves. So what's your behavior that comes up? And you know what? The first thing that's going to tell you what you're going to be doing is your words. Ooh. How do you talk to yourself? It's the conversation that happens here. Because if I think about that I'm born in the projects, if I think about that I'm poor, if I think about that I'm black, if I think I can't have things a conventional way, if I think I couldn't be a nurse, if I thought I couldn't be a speaker, and for a long time I had that issue, the words that I have in my conversation are what's going to bring those things to pass.
Yes.
So, check your chicken came up. And check your chicken came from a place of the story of the eagle and the chicken. And the story of the eagle and the chicken is that an eagle was born and had his little egg taken to a farm. And it's born in the farm. And so it's raised by chickens. And you see your little eagle is so happy. It's just walking around. But every time it would see the eagles, it would look and say, you know what? I feel like there's more. I feel like there's more to my life. And that's what I felt as a little girl. That's what I felt even with my father saying, but there's got to be more. There's got to be people who love me. Okay? For me. But this is how people will interact with you. They either will dismiss you, they'll be angry with you, or they will just not pay you any money. Those mindsets that tell you you're not enough. Those mindsets that tell you, oh, you need to have degrees. Those the impact on someone else's life that you know you want to be. When the number comes up after your dash. What are they going to remember about you? Oh, well, he was a good thing, and that's good too. Everybody had to think about that concept. Took the time and they worked with themselves and they created that chair. What can you create? Who greatness? When you're doing your jewelry, when you do your pieces and you have the mindset and the heart set of what's going to the piece that somebody's going to have, and how that's going to affect their personality, their purpose of when they go step out. Because I bought a beautiful necklace. I'm just saying. And I'm about to get me some kissable lipstick. But what do you... I was caught up in I had to have the right dress. I had to wear my contacts. Let me tell you all about my contacts this morning. Let me just let you know how it goes. Truth in confessions. I opened up the contact lenses. There was one lens. I don't know what happened. Now, let me tell you, a year ago, that would have put me in a tizzy. I had to appear to be so smart. I had to appear to be all of that. And that was holding me back. That was my mindset. That was that worthless mindset that I got from being poor, being black, being left by my father. Those were the mindsets that were being fed into through words, through deeds, through everything. But then you get to meet people like Dr. Cass in your life. And there are Dr. Casses throughout my life. And she's my season for the rest of my life right now. She ain't got no choice. But you get people to encourage you. And when I got ready to do my first conference last year, in October, and I got right up to it and I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I actually had just done a conference, spoke for someone else before, and the itinerary shifted around, and where I thought I had 30 minutes, I had 5. And I couldn't tell the story because I had spent so much time on the outside that I didn't. Because everybody's got one. Every trial and tribulation you have ever gone through is because you can now touch somebody else's life in that area. Okay? That's right. Because until my mother died, I would say to people, I'm so sorry, I understand, and I thought I did. But until my mother died, I ain't know. You don't know until you know.
That's right. That's right.
So what have you gone through? Where can you take your life and your experiences and bless somebody else? We are not what we do. So you're not a jewelry lady. You are not a lipstick seller. You are not damsels in distress. And I am not Naomi Jones, speaker. But Naomi can bring something to this world because I've been through some stuff. So I can relate to people who've been poor. I can relate to people who've lost their father. Okay? I can relate to people who know they want their chickens checked. So who are these chickens? And how do you recognize these chickens? And this is what I love to say. And Dr. Cass is going to give y'all something so you can check out your chickens. But who are these chickens and how do you recognize them? Well, first of all, let me just tell you, the thing is, check your chicken. Okay? Are we clear? Because a lot of people, when they hear this presentation or they hear me talk about the chickens, they go, girl, I need to go and tell my husband. I need to tell my brother. I need to tell my... Listen, I know just who needs to have your book. Okay. When you're pointing the finger, look how that looks. There's 3 more pointing back at you, and if you do that, there's 4 more pointing back at yourself. And the reason you identify with some other people's chickens is because they talking to your chickens. You think you got them in check, but they don't. So it's really about checking your own chickens. So here are some of the chicken mindsets, and it is designed as a menu. And this was where, yes, they were throwing candy at me and doing all that. And apparently that's a Midwest thing. It ain't an East Coast thing. And I was a little attitudey. Because that'll get you cut in New York. You throw something at me, you can get hurt. So, but we were sitting in the back of the restaurant and we talked about chicken and we talked about the chicken menu. And I said, what better way to understand your mindset than with chicken? So chicken strips. Chicken strips is when, oh, I went back, sorry. Chicken strips is when that feeling of unworthiness. Okay? So that's that mindset that I told you I was living with. That feeling of unworthiness. You know? And when you have a mindset of unworthiness, look at where that will take you on your journey. Okay? It took me into unhealthy relationships because I'm looking for love. It took me into situations where I would do different things maybe than when I needed money because I had financial mindsets, feeling unworthy, that you don't even feel that you're worthy of your money. And I will tell you, talking about from scarcity to abundance, I actually got my master's degree for all the wrong reasons. I got my master's degree because I didn't want, I had my associate's degree in nursing, and when someone told me that, one of the bosses, and she said, well, you're not going to be able to keep your supervisory position because you don't have a bachelor's degree in nursing. Okay, so you have to go back to school. So I went back to school and I got my bachelor's, and then when they told me I got my bachelor's in nursing, and then I said I will get my master's so that no one can tell me I'm not qualified to take a position again. Now, yes, I have my master's degree, but what was the motivation? What was the mindset behind that? It was from scarcity. So nobody could ever tell me I can't be who I am. No, I'm powerful. I was powerful with the associates.
That's right.
I was powerful with the bachelor's. And guess what? I never used the master's. Because guess what? By the time I got that, I was like, I don't want to do that no more. I was like, I don't want to direct all these fools. No, thank you. I'm about to become an entrepreneur, okay? I didn't need that for that. But scarcity versus abundance. When you're coming from an abundant mindset, it's because I got my degree, as Dr. Rose said, I got my degree so I can bless other people. I got my degree so now I can show other people what's possible. Okay? So being unworthy, chicken manners, okay? Chicken and gravy. That's when you don't have any boundaries. You know how the mindset of boundaries, when you have gravy and it's on the plate, well, that gravy be all over. It'll be on the broccoli, it'll be on the mashed potato, it'll be on the chicken. How do we contain it? We contain it by putting it in the well, right? In the mashed potatoes, right? So when you don't have healthy boundaries, that's a negative mindset. Kung Pao chicken. That's just an angry chicken. That's a mindset that you just want to sit in your anger, okay? And that's the way you may have chosen to live through stuff. And you know what? We all have to do things in a survival mode. So the beginning of my life, my mindsets were guided by scarcity, right? And by survival. Because if I'm going to say that I'm going to be all that I can be, I have to maybe do some things and I have to think a certain way. Like, yeah, even though I got the master's degree, I had to say, well, you know what? I'm not going to let anybody tell me I can't be in a position anymore. It was a profitable position because, and then don't you know that nursing changed the rules again? And they say now you have to have, my bachelor's and master's is in health administration, and now they want it to be absolutely in nursing. So they had the nerve to tell me about 3-4 years ago, you're going to have to go back to school and get another degree. I said, the hell I will. Because see, now I'm not in that mindset anymore, right? So yeah, if you're in survival, because maybe that's how you had to keep people off of you, to be angry, right? Maybe that was that mindset. But you don't need to have that anymore, because the question you want to ask yourself is, what's working? So if you're operating from a place of anger, what's working for you? Is it? And if it's not, then you need to check that chicken. So sweet and sour chicken, this is when you're moody and inconsistent. So tell me you want to do business and you don't know. So people that want to do business with you, they don't know who they're going to meet that morning. I come to go get some lipstick and she looking at me like, I don't want to even talk to nobody today, you know. And then the next time I see her at another event, she's all chipping. And I'm like, is that the same person? How does that work? Boneless chicken. This is no spine, no backbone. This is my ineffective mindset. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, right? This is usually the mindset that you want to please everybody. Okay? You want to love everybody. You want to be nice. That's why she has a big heart. She loves people. She wants to do the right thing by people. But everybody gets to go first, except you. And if you're always putting yourself last, that's not a good mindset, right? Chicken nuggets, thinking small. That's what Kim and I were just talking about today. Thinking small. No, I want 89 bathrooms, and matter of fact, 89 bedrooms and 92 bathrooms.
That's right.
Because my husband don't like to flush all the time, so y'all got to delete that from any video.
You're live. Yeah, they already know.
Oh, we're live. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Well, and one thing, and I just would say for my live people, and I love all my live people and everything, but you know what? And this is nothing intended for, and I thank you for sharing everything, you know, on everything in live. But I will tell you, the people that paid to come here today, what makes you pay for something?
You want it?
You really want it, right? And it becomes, it has a value to it, right? And when you place a value on something, you will feel that you will do more work, you'll take more effort, and you will also take that information. You ever see things that are always offered free? And I love free. What's the value you place on something free versus the dress that you have to go and pay $90 for?
That's right.
Or $100 for?
Take care of it.
What's the value? So for my live people, love y'all, but y'all didn't pay to come here. So I see y'all. Look on my website, lifecoachrn.com, and y'all can come to any of the next events coming up, and absolutely love you. But you know what? This is for the people here in this room. And there's no mistake about the people who are here in this room. Okay? So, bye. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to be some different.
With. He said, Johnny, you become accessible. I will that if you it's what I'm doing. Off whichever and let the
12 years. She's paying you think when I and my grandchild talking about be on this to with the know I handle it to be books that was some really very what purpose required to do. I can't create a he does it so often, Dr. Cass, and I'm like, God, can I sleep just for a little bit? I promise you. But he woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, you're going to write a dictionary. I said, oh, what? I said, my name is not Merriam nor Webster. And I went back to sleep. He woke me back up. He said, you're going to write a dictionary. Either I'm going to give it to somebody else to write. I said, no, I'll take care of that. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of having dreams and visions that other people are fulfilling. I refuse from this day forward to let somebody else fulfill my dream. It's not going to happen. So I got up, went to the computer. I said, how do we do this? He said, this are the things that you look up. These are the things that you do. And he sent me back to school. He said, this is what you're going to do. For 6 months, you're going to dedicate yourself to this thing.
6 months.
For 6 months, you're going to dedicate yourself to this thing. So I got a lot of words in me. I began to understand a lot differently what God means by his words. So I'm going to give you some of these definitions. My whole training is going to be about definitions. Is that all right? So who got my time? Somebody keep me on track because you know I will get long-winded. Emotion is the very first one. All right? Because this is what cancels out so many businesses. This is what sends so many businesses to the graveyard. Oh, they die with us. One of my greatest mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe, said that the graveyard is the richest place.
It is the richest place.
Because people die.
Manifested greatness.
My gosh. Emotion, a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, listen to this, from one's own circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. So your emotions are derived from your experiences.
Right.
My gosh. The only reason that you're sad about a certain thing is because you've experienced that thing before and you realize how it made you feel. My goodness. And I'm going to tell you this because I tell my church all the time. The writer of my favorite book, the creator of all things, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He could care less about your feelings.
That's right.
He could care less about your feelings because he understands you don't understand your feelings. All right, I'm going to move on. Fact. Y'all all think you know what facts are, but here we go. A fact, a thing that is indisputably the case. A thing that is indisputably the case. All right? Truth. A collection of facts.
Come on.
So a fact is not necessarily the truth.
Well,
Come on, somebody. My bank account might be empty today, but it is not the truth. It is a fact. Not my fact, but it may be somebody's fact. It may be somebody's fact, but the truth is I have millions.
That's right.
The truth is that I actually am the descendant of a king.
that's right.
The truth is I have access to all things. So the fact may be that I don't have any money in my bank account. The fact may be I may have a bad credit score. The fact may be that I don't have a building. The fact may be that I don't have the technology. The fact may be that I don't have the know-how. But the truth is that I am a business owner.
Come on.
That's it.
I got it. I caught it.
The truth is that I am a business owner. Again, my great friend, my mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe, he always used an illustration of a cherry. He would always ask people, what do you see? And most people would say, I see a cherry. He said, no. He said, what you see is a harvest.
That's right.
Because inside the cherry is a seed. And inside that seed is a tree. On that tree are more cherries. And in those cherries are more seeds. And those seeds are more trees. And before you know it, you have harvest. Oh, come on. So inside of you is a seed, but this is exactly why it's important to be at these types of meetings. Because it takes relational currency in order to get a seed into a harvest.
Right.
Again, a seed has to be nourished by something.
Yes.
Oh my God. So the fact may be that you're only a seed. The fact may be that you only have an idea. But when you come to something like this, that idea gets nourished. It gets planted and then it begins to grow. Is that all right? So that's the truth of the thing. Awareness. Perception of a situation or fact. Awareness. We're all aware of what's going on. We all see what's going on. That's all great. Be aware. Be aware, but do not allow it. Do not allow it to change your truth.
That's right.
You're aware of facts, but do not allow your awareness of facts to change your truth. Is that all right?
That's right.
React. To respond or behave in a particular way in response to something. That is a reaction. That is a reaction. And I'm going to tell you why that's important here in just a moment. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that one. Control. The power to restrain something, especially one's own emotions or actions. The power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. My gosh. Control. Control is how you handle your reactions.
That's it.
My gosh. More importantly, is how you control somebody else's reaction.
That's right.
My gosh. The only way I can control your reaction is that I know you.
Teach.
I must be aware of you. This is why, if anybody in here wants to be a successful business person, you want to be a successful speaker, you got to get to know the people that you are calling your clients.
Yes. Lord. Yep.
As a speaker, I try my best to talk, shake hands, listen to every conversation that's going on in the room. Why? Because I am becoming aware.
That's right.
I'm becoming aware of what you went through on your way here.
That's right.
I'm becoming aware of what mood you in right now. I'm becoming aware who's going to be interactive with me.
That's right.
That's good.
Because I don't want to spend time on the person that's going to look down the whole time. I want to talk to the person that's going to talk back.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Because those are the ones that's going to motivate me to keep on going.
Yeah.
Well, not me. I'm going to go anyway. Expectation. Listen to this. A strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. And I promise you, I'm going somewhere. I'm giving you these definitions because I'm setting you up. All right? An expectation, a strong belief. So how many of you have had an expectation when you came here? Anybody don't have an expectation when they go somewhere, you need to stay at home.
That's right. That's right.
Don't go anywhere that you don't have an expectation.
That's right.
Come on. I always have an expectation. I don't care who is speaking. If I'm going to go, I'm expecting to get something out of it.
That's right.
I'm expecting to learn something. Don't let anybody form your expectation for you.
That's it.
Well, I went to the last one and they didn't really speak to what I had. Well, I don't have what you have.
That's right.
I'm going expecting them to give me what I need.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm always coming in with high expectations. Don't lower your expectations
That's right.
based upon what somebody else's facts are. Is that all right?
That's right.
All right. Be careful what you let into your space. Now I'm getting into my training.
Yep.
Be careful what you let into your space. And I'm not talking about your room. I'm not talking about your house. I'm talking about into your mind. Be careful what you let in there. Watch the movies you're watching. Watch the television shows.
That's right.
Oh, come on. We got to be careful even watching news.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
We got to be careful about the things that we listen to.
That's right.
I tell the people that my young millennials, they get tired of me. You need to turn off that music. Oh, I like a good beat too.
That's right.
Glory. We put gospel on a lot of things that don't belong in that arena.
That's right.
Come on. I heard a comedian say, her song, Take Me to the King, I don't want to go. I still got work to do.
That's right.
Take me to the king. I don't want to go to the king. I got work to do. Me and the king are tight.
That's right.
Me and the king are tight. I don't need to do that. All right. So when we listen to that music, we got to be very careful about what image is coming into our heads.
Teach it. Teach it.
Watch that. What I do instead is I listen to a lot of motivational, inspirational speakers.
That's it.
If I'm going to listen to music, most of the music I listen to is going to be instrumental. I don't need any words. I create my own.
That's it.
Everything I'm listening to is going to put me in position to be a better me.
That's it.
My God. What are you doing in that first 15 minutes?
To be a better.
Is that first 15 minutes, is it inspiring you? Is it empowering you for the rest of your day? Believe it or not, it is that first. Oh, come on. It is that first 15. Those first few minutes that you wake up that will determine the rest of your day.
That's it. That's it.
What do you do? My wife will tell you, most put on Tamla Man Day from what I will say is going to be into our wisdom. Nothing negative. Our emotions do nothing. Disconnected from something out. This is why. But don't allow that's why one of the speakers, because said it is. He said the power is not in our how. As a response begins to happen, your body preaching a revival and can't see that. I did. I could not depending on me. Can go with our mind. Because I said, agree with your mind. Your mind. Abbreviations of truth. I got dark is an abbreviation of a truth. Dry is an absence of whatever it is you exist.
Yeah.
Dark is not quite. Oh, come on. The reason why you fear is because you have your. You hear it because we listen to the quarter, but fear. First, sound is real. I like that. The people of emotional potential.
Yes.
See me. But times it goes down, it's time to innovate. This is a time for have vision in order to be our ministry does. Mindsets of those. So just like negative, I can marketplace ministry and our leadership solvers group. It is right me. You can words. This dictionary has business. It has color. So if you don't understand numbers, before we left, my wife years regional host said we want to produce the second edition on, but I mean when I go back there, so please.
And all of us, I'm argue for that. She is my brand name. And I went to the government. I went ahead and I got it patented. And the name Noah, it's an acronym for nothing ordinary about her, nothing ordinary about him. The feminine is the nothing ordinary about her. The masculine is nothing ordinary about him. Ironically enough, there's extraordinary in all of us. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite poets is Marianne Williamson. She says, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's the light that most frightens me, not the darkness that's in me. That's right. And what's amazing is if we ever tapped into just an inkling of what our potential is, we would do phenomenal things. So it's on that note. I'm not going to be long, but I just want to share with you. Last time, Marcus Howard and everybody else set the stage. Y'all ain't gonna make me hurt myself today. I'm doing what I came here to do. Matter of fact, Marcus and I have been talking, and I told him when I was on my way to East Texas, I said, man, let me tell you, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Y'all not getting me caught up. Y'all notice I didn't say much. You ain't gonna hurt me, brother. But that brother, man, I've grown to love him. I love you, man. I do. I look forward to the same relationship with you, Johnny Mac. Because, bro, I am magnificent. I gotta pick at Marcus one more time. When I first met Marcus, I told him, I said, you're not that tall. Because when I met him, he looked as tall as I was. So when I met him, I was like, goodness gracious. But to really appreciate it, I needed that. And of course, Naomi, high five to you. Dr. Rowe, we gonna do this. All right, look here. I want to just share with you guys some things. I'm a very practical guy. So what I want to do, I want to share with you some very practical principles of prosperity. I want to share with you some very practical principles dealing with finance management. If I had to give you my background, I'd tell you my background is quite eclectic. I own 7 businesses. My brand is really what I promote, but what I do, as you all had a chance, you all would not know that Willie Cody is 74 years old. I made that guy millions of dollars years ago before he ever met me. I have clients we've never met, and the time we meet, they're like, man, it's the first time meeting. But what I've learned about that is simply some of this. The more practical you are, the more persuasive you can be. Come on. Right. And it's something about practicality. Practicality has to have something to do with your persuasion. Mm-hmm. And your persuasion has nothing to do with your color. Your persuasion has everything to do with your passion. But your passion will never be poised if it never comes with purpose. I'm not going to preach, but I can. So what I want to do, I want to show you guys some very practical things. I'm a 2017. I won Agent of Change Award in Quebec, Canada, also Montreal. Also in 2017, I was a Community Change Award winner in the United States, July 2018. So on that note, thank you. I like for people to see it's practical for me. I take a very practical approach. So when we're talking about business and we're talking about finance, three things I want you to put down: economics, finance, and money. Economics, finance, and money. When you take into consideration economics, finance, and money, economics is global. When you hear the conversation about economics, they're talking global impact. When you hear them talking about finance, they're talking about the national impact. When you're talking about money, money is personal. Consequently, you cannot national impact and money globally. And how many of you have a purse? Pull out, raise it up. Record.
This is good.
Ask, but looking at you, so you have to give it away. That's the. When you look at the money in, now you can sit down. One priority. Not only do you,
That's it. That's it.
and not only do you global, national, like yourself, you still started. Just think about it. Is your handbag? What's your say something about an idea? Don't make sense. It's sense. It's all about. See, and other people give I failed the day before. Thursday, having conversations. He gives you and you do it. The practical guy in my good and get it. Dennis and he is beautiful.